Imagine a young girl, a prodigy in her time, surrounded by books and ideas at a time and place where such access was a privilege reserved almost exclusively for men. She was Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz, a remarkable figure in 17th century Mexico, who not only dared to dream, but challenged the very fabric of societal norms with her intellect and pen. In an era when women's voices were often silenced, Sor Juana's resounded with clarity and purpose, leaving an indelible mark on the worlds of literature and philosophy. Born Juana de Asbaje y Ramirez de Santillana in 1648, she grew up in what was then the viceroyalty of New Spain, a region that today forms part of Mexico. From an early age, Juana displayed an insatiable appetite for learning, teaching herself Latin by the age of 7 and composing her first poem at just 8. Her passion for knowledge was so intense that she would often sneak into her grandfather's library, yearning to absorb the wisdom contained within the pages of his books. Despite the societal belief that education was unnecessary for women, Juana's brilliance could not be contained. Her talents soon caught the attention of the Viceroy of New Spain, who invited her to join his court as a lady-in-waiting. At court, Juana dazzled aristocrats with her eloquence and intellect, engaging in profound discussions and debates on subjects ranging from theology to philosophy, fields that were typically dominated by men. Yet the constraints of court life were too narrow for Juana's expansive mind and spirit. Seeking a space where she could pursue her intellectual endeavors without the distractions of courtly life and matrimonial expectations, Juana chose to enter a convent in 1667, initially joining the Carmelite order and later the Hieronymite nuns. It was within the convent's walls that she truly came into her own, writing most of her major works. In becoming Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz, she crafted a life that defied the expectations set for women of her time. The cloistered life afforded her the solitude she craved, providing a refuge where her literary and scholarly pursuits could flourish. Her cell became a sanctuary filled with books, scientific instruments, and musical scores, a testament to her wide-ranging interests. Sor Juana's work spans a vast array of genres, including poetry, drama, and prose. Perhaps her most famous piece is the epic poem Primero Sueño, considered by many as a masterpiece that explores the journey of the soul in pursuit of divine knowledge. In her poetry, Sor Juana employed intricate metaphors and classical references, showcasing her formidable intelligence and her deep engagement with the intellectual currents of the time. But Sor Juana's legacy extends beyond her literary accomplishments. She was an early advocate for women's rights, expressing these views most notably in her letter, Respuesta a Sor Filotea de la Cruz. In this passionate defense of women's right to education, Sor Juana argues for intellectual emancipation, insisting that women should be allowed to educate themselves freely and without restriction. Her audacity in speaking out against the societal norms of the time earned her both admirers and detractors. Sor Juana lived during a period of immense political and religious pressure. Her outspoken nature ultimately provoked confrontation with the ecclesiastical authorities, who viewed her writings as controversial and her assertions as radical. In 1694, facing mounting pressure to conform, she was forced to abandon her literary pursuits and sell her library. A devastating blow to her, but one that underscores her uncompromising dedication to her beliefs. Despite these challenges, Sor Juana's legacy endures. She is celebrated today not only as one of the most significant writers of the Spanish Golden Age, but also as a feminist icon who dared to challenge the status quo. Her life and works inspire countless individuals, reminding us of the power of the written word and the strength found in intellectual courage. In closing, Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz was more than a poet and scholar. She was a trailblazer who confronted the entrenched patriarchy, armed only with her intelligence and conviction. Her life affirms that while the world may try to dismiss women's voices, those voices, once given freedom, have the capacity to enact profound change. Through her words, Sor Juana continues to teach us the value of knowledge, the necessity of challenging, oppression, and the enduring impact of a relentless pursuit of truth.